The country had been recognized by South Africa as an independent state, though the rest of the world and the ANC refused recognition. Its president was Lucas Mangope. About a third of its budget was provided by South Africa. Under the constitution that had just been agreed, Bophuthatswana would cease to exist and become part of South Africa. Its army of 5,000 men was led partly by officers from the South African forces. Mangope would give no pledge to abandon his country's sovereign status, nor would he allow electoral activity in BOP.
President de Klerk came here, for instance, about 2, 3, 4 times, together with Mr. Pekbotha, to try and influence our president here to give in.
We said to him he could not prevent South Africans, and a vast number of the people living in his country are South African citizens, that they had a right to participate freely in democratic activities, meetings, and in the election.
Mangope denied that right. He formed a pact with General Viljoen, Chief Buthelezi, and the leader of another tribal state. This alliance of BOP with right-wing Afrikaners posed a serious threat to the whole transition to democracy.
The white right would have territory of BOP, access to BOP arsenals, and would have black cannon fodder through Umkata.
BOP was effectively a one-party state whose police dealt firmly with political and other protests. They would not allow the ANC to campaign there. ANC agents warned BOP civil servants that Mangope's government would disappear on election day, and if he didn't allow the elections, there would be no one to pay their salaries and pensions.
He warned the defense force. He said to them on that day, "Look, gentlemen, if you feel you cannot toe the line with me, give me that which is mine, and leave the defense force. I'll go and get some other people to come and be in this defense force."
The other people the BOP president counted on were Viljoen's militia of army reservists, mostly Afrikaner farmers who were members of the broad Volksfront alliance. As disturbances in BOP continued, Mangope saw himself as the victim of a conspiracy. Terre Blanche seized the moment. He issued an appeal over Radio Pretoria, a pirate station of the white right, for AWB members to gather with full kit. The more moderate Viljoen now tried to stop Terre Blanche. He did this by going to the president of the White Right Alliance, Ferdy Hartzenberg.
And then in my office, Dr. Hartzenberg phoned Mr. Eugene Terre Blanche and he explained to them the whole situation, and he said, please, you are not to take any AWB members. You will not participate in the situation inside Bophuthatswana. We are only going to send farmers.
Terre Blanche, who had just spoken to President Mangope, took the call.
And he said, you must not go in tonight. So I asked him why. And he said, no, they are organizing 4,000 men. So I said, I have had an agreement with the state president, and I phoned him already, and I said I will take in my men tonight, so I'm going to take in my men. So I did.
I had a call from Mr. Eugene Terre Blanche, who offered to come in and help. And I said, please don't come in.
But the AWB were going in anyway.
600 to 700 started here from Ventersdorp. The only firearms they had was sidearms, revolvers and pistols.
The AWB's intervention was to have dramatic consequences for all white hardliners. Viljoen was determined to keep Mangope in power and the right-wing alliance intact, so he sent his men off.
3,000 to 4,000 farmers were gathering all over the Transvaal, and they then moved to Bophuthatswana by means of private vehicles and unarmed, because they were going to get the arms in Bophuthatswana.
Viljoen gave the job of mobilizing the force to save Mangope to a former South African army brigadier, Doe Steyn. In Pretoria, intelligence reports suggested that if Viljoen's men held BOP, the South African Defence Force, the SADF, might refuse to fire on them.